Today on the show, I'm joined by Tris Hussey, tech educator, author, and AI-powered marketer who's been demystifying technology since the earliest days of blogging. From fossil pollen to WordPress to vibe coding, he's built a career on curiosity and teaching others to keep learning. Welcome to The Rebel Rebel. This episode of The Rebel Rebel is brought to you by my book, Brand Jitsu. I've spent over 25 years in the trenches helping artists, entrepreneurs, and brands stop being ignored. I took everything I've learned, the wins, the hard lessons, the frameworks that actually work, and I put it into one book. It's called Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable, and it'll help you tell your story in a way that people actually remember. Get it at your favorite bookstore or visit brandjitsu.com. Welcome to the Rebel Rebel. I'm your host, Michael Dargie, and somewhere around the world, please welcome Tris Hussey. Tris, how the hell are you?
Hey, Michael, I'm doing great. We were just talking and I'm out in BC and it's still warm. It's t-shirt weather, shorts. Calgary, it looks like you guys it's getting chilly.
Yeah, it's turning. There's leaves falling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan. I love the color green. Yeah, but you guys have
but it's not easy being green. It's not easy being green.
It's not. No, 100% not. You're in what? Where are you in the world?
I am in Chilliwack, BC. Beautiful Chilliwack, famous for our corn. I've been told it's better than Tabor corn, but I have not compared them head to head, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it's a lovely little farming community out in the Fraser Valley, out from Vancouver.
Yeah, which is I was just there, not weeks ago. I rode through and I went to the bookstore. The Man.
Oh, the Bookman. The Bookman is fantastic.
Right?
We go there. That area downtown Chilliwack is really revitalized. And,
oh my God, it was so beautiful.
Now, here's a little trivia fact I didn't know until this week. So you drove by the big Molson Coors plant on the highway,
sure
right?
Did.
It's massive. How many people do you think work there?
I would never know.
40.
What? No. Okay. Yep. I was thinking thousands.
Nope.
Okay.
40. It's all robotic. I know. I went to the original one in Vancouver, which had tons of people, met the brewmaster, and this week I was at we're famous for our locally brewed beer here in Chilliwack. And so one of the places is called the Farmhouse, and the co-owner of the Farmhouse gave a little talk about the journey to buying a farm and stuff and building a brewery. And it came up that there's only 40 people in this. Now, for context, this thing is bigger than a football field. It might be two football fields.
Yeah, I drove past it.
Yeah. It's right by Highway 1. And it's huge. And I was 40 people.
Man. So
that's rebellious.
Here's a weird thing.
Yeah.
So because you're in Chilliwack, maybe you know this guy. My uncle is Ted Tisdale, who was the CEO of Chilliwack for forever ago.
It's a small town. I've only been here a year.
Okay.
He sounds really familiar. I have not run into him yet.
Well, you won't run into him because he's deceased, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah. But I mean, he helped build this place that you all live in. And this last summer, I got to drift through it and I got to see it is a beautiful, beautiful town.
Mm-hmm. It is. And it's growing fast. It's 100,000 people now.
Wow.
So we're starting to have, big city stuff. But yeah, it's a great place to live. Wonderful people, really great sense of community. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so let's backtrack a sec and be what is, so we know where you are. What do you do? What's the Tris story?
What do I do? Okay, so right now what I am doing is what I'm calling AI-enabled marketing. So
seems like a thing.
It's a it's a growing thing. I've just earned my chartered marketer designation from the Canadian Marketing Association to sort of give myself the official stamp. I mean, I've been doing marketing for like 20 years, but this is official. Like, okay, yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I have been really in the last 6 months diving headlong into how do I solve marketing problems using AI.
Yeah.
And things like as a marketer and I'm a content person. That's part of my T-shaped marketing thing.
Sure.
Is like, I hate doing brand voice guides or brand visual identity guides because they're so tedious and they don't seem like they really have a lot of value, but they do for the brand. They're important, but they're just a pain. No one likes actually doing them. The other thing I hate doing are content audits. Like, how does my content stack up?
Right.
And how does my content stack up against my competitors? And I hate doing those. And I've figured out how to do it with AI. And it would take the content audits, if you do them well, take a couple weeks to really dig in and do it right, especially if you're talking competitors. I can do it in about 3 hours. And you've got a really great level of detail. Perfect? No. Really solid enough for you to go, yeah, you know what? That's an issue. And that is, and like a brand guide takes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
To do a brand voice and tone guide.
Wild.
Or less. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
I guess the question is, like, let's go back in time and, young Tris, like young 5-year-old Tris. Is this what you wanted to do, or were you something different?
I wanted to be the earliest job I thought I always wanted to be was a paleontologist. I wanted to dig up dinosaur bones. That was what I wanted to do. A paleontologist, the guy who, like the Jurassic Park kind of thing, dig up dinosaur bones. And that's what I wanted to do. And
how did you end up here?
How did I end up here? This is I think part of it is a natural curiosity.
Okay.
And I don't know, is it dumb luck? So when I was in university, I studied anthropology, and I had actually wanted to be a history major. I took an anthropology course. So this is it. I'm going to do this. And then I had part of my anthropology, because I was going to focus on archaeology, was taking a geology course. And then I took geology. I was like, oh my God, I love this. So I minored in geology, and I fell into what is called it's called palynology is the discipline. And it's the study of fossil pollen grains. And I only studied, like, the oil industry studies the ones that are fossilized in rocks. I studied the ones that were in lake sediment and lake mud. So like only going back like 40,000 years.
Jesus Christ.
And so I did that. I studied global climate change. How can you look at fossil pollen over time and see what the environment was like? And I went to grad school for that. Got my master's degree. I wanted to actually be a professor. That was my goal. I wanted to get my PhD and go back to the kind of small university that I graduated from and mentor students, because it was wonderful. And I realized I really am not a good scientist. And after finishing my master's, I am not staying another 4 years to do a PhD. I can't no. So I finished, and I started running a lab. I ran a lab at Duke University. Fresh out of grad school. And that was pretty good. I mean, I love doing the science and working in the lab, working with really dangerous chemicals. I actually kind of lost some of I don't smell as well as you would think, because a couple times I didn't have my hands in the fume hood far enough, and I kind of inhaled some stuff.
What?
Yeah. When you're working with bad stuff, you got to keep your hands way in the fume hood. So yeah, that's a tip for all you kids learning science, is like, keep your hands in the fume hood. There's a reason for that. Anyway, what I realized was that science wasn't going to be for me, because I couldn't write. I didn't have control over my job. Only the professor could write the grants that could keep me paid. And so I could only essentially have a job for 6 months at a shot. So at month 4, I would be always like, so do we have money? And after about a year and a bit of this, I was like, this is it. I'm done. And I went and did frontline tech support at a research facility, because, I'm a scientist, so it worked. that actually was the door to the next phase, which was I leaned over my friend's shoulder and I go, Jared, what are you doing? It's like, I'm making a web page. It's like, you're a notepad. What the hell? It's all this greater than and less than stuff. What is this? Can you teach me? Sure. And that started this thing. I got into web design, and I worked for the pharma industry for about 7 years. I've built, oh my gosh, probably 24 pharma-related websites for different drugs in both the US and Canada. And when I left pharma, I had picked up a lot of internet strategy, internet marketing, and I thought I could put out my shingle. That didn't work out. But then I had a job doing market research for pharma. We're kind of weird that like we kind of stay in our zone. And no one wanted to talk about the geeky things I like to talk about. And I was, and I still am, really into knowledge management and project management tools. How do you help people work better and remember remember the stuff? I still really like it. No one at work or my wife at the time really wanted to talk to me about it at all, because I was downloading all these apps and I was trying all these things, and they're like, no. So I thought, and this was about 2003, I thought, this blogging thing, I think this sounds interesting. I think this could catch on. So I started blogging on a whim. By the end of 2003, I was Canada's first professional blogger, and I was getting paid to write blog posts for companies across North America.
What?
On whatever topic got thrown at me. I have literally written about garbage bags, because a buddy of mine and I started an agency to work with companies back when this was before blogging for business. Well, now we call it content marketing, but then it was like blogging for business. It was new, and you had to hire a blogger because the skill sets weren't really in companies, and people didn't know how to deal with the blogging software. So that was a big part of it. How do you set it up? How do you install it? How do you run it? And all those things. And that I did that for a number of years. I did that probably, over 10, almost 10 years, maybe a little longer. Yeah. And then I realized once social media, and then I got in the early days of Twitter before it was X and stuff, and did the social media, and I did a lot of social media marketing consulting. And then I realized that blogging for business didn't exist anymore. It was content marketing, and social media was sort of baked in to every business. It was Dave Ruggieri. It was like everyone had their social media profile. They probably had all of them. They used none of them, but it was the thing. And I realized that if I wanted to stay gainfully employed, which is important, I needed to pick up marketing. And I pivoted to being in marketing. And and that's progressed. So I mean, along this way from 2003 to now, I've written 4 books. Two editions of one on how to blog, one on WordPress, two of actually distinctively on using WordPress. Do you remember Foursquare? Remember you check into the cafe or whatever, and you could be the mayor. Yep. Okay, I wrote the book Sam's Teach Yourself Foursquare in 10 Minutes. It is my worst book. I never really talk about it. I am so glad I got paid up front, because it was awful. A friend of mine who is the tech editor on a lot of my other books, she emailed me, or we were having coffee, and she's like, Tris, this book sucks. And I said, yeah, I know. Because there was a minimum page count, and the app was too simple. I couldn't talk about it. It was too new and it was too simple. I couldn't write enough, and it was full of filler.
Oh no!
It was not my best work. But
what's your best work?
The process of writing books was great, and I want to I'll write a few more for sure.
So what's your best work? Like, what do you want people to be like?
What is my best work?
Yeah. What's the Tris story?
My best work, the one I'm most proud of, is the Absolute Beginner's Guide to WordPress, or the WordPress Absolute Beginner's Guide. I always get the title mixed up. You'd think I would know it, but I feel like they changed it on me a couple times, and I baked the wrong one in my head. That's fair. That is the one. It was the last one I wrote. It was the longest one. It's about 450 pages.
Damn.
And it really crystallized what I love to do, which is democratize technology. I think everyone should be able to use technology.
Yep.
I don't think WordPress should be hard. I don't think AI should be hard. I don't think any of these things should be hard. So I've kind of made it a big part of my life to help other people understand tech. And I've taught at the University of British Columbia. I've taught at British Columbia Institute of Technology to do that so that people feel empowered to do stuff, to learn, to do the tech things.
Oh,
and I love it. I really love it.
So is Gutenberg a thing?
Is Gutenberg a thing? It is no longer called Gutenberg. It is called the block editor.
What?
And yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while. I played with Gutenberg. I remember it used to have to be a plugin you had to install on your WordPress site to get Gutenberg to work. And I think when you and I were talking before, yeah, I hated Gutenberg. I thought it was just crap. It was just not, it was going to add so much bloat to my website.
Sure.
But thinking about the real goal of why I help people with technology, it's all of the tools, whichever the visual builders you use, the block editors in WordPress, they all do have a code bloat problem, but they do have one thing that is great, which is it makes it really easy for people to do neat things.
Yes.
Which is now people can over neat their thing. They can put way too much on it. But it's like something that's not hard, but it's not trivial. Like, say you want those little expanding facts sections,
sure.
Right? You have a question, you print the plus, and it opens up.
Yep.
There are plugins to do this. You could code it. But man, when you can just drag a little block that's like, this is your fact-o-matic. Right? It frees people from this feeling, A, they're going to break something, and B, they can just do stuff. And yeah, if you hire a professional designer, developer, they're going to swear and groan and call you all kinds of nasty names when you're not listening because you're using a builder. But honestly, I use them in my own work because I don't have the time. I don't want to spend hours and hours custom coding things. Well, I don't have the time for that. And
I think so, that's the thing, is that do you have time to do it? If you do, cool. You can do it better. Like, it really is better. But if you don't have the time, you can do it just fine.
That's right.
Right? Like, just fine doesn't have to be less than.
No. And the sites still load fast. I mean, I haven't had a site built with a page builder, whichever one, Beaver Builder, Divi, any of them.
Sure.
I haven't had one completely flunk the Google speed tests. I mean, they all do fine. I mean, a couple, like the mobile usually is a little rough, but really they're not bad. And sure, if you have the money and the expertise and the time and you want to, or any of the combination of those, and you want a really pro design website, sure. But you know what? I'll bet you the designers are going to use a lot of those tools to build it too. They just might tweak them a little more so they might run faster, but they're busy too. Right. And, code that you write has to be checked. So it's better to have code that you don't have to write.
Are you a vibe coder at this point?
I am.
Oh, sweet.
I actually started I actually started vibe coding before I knew it was called vibe coding.
Oh, nice. And how, what's the tool you use?
So the first thing I did, and it was really kind of funny and sad, because in my last gig that I was at, I was doing podcasts. I was a podcast assistant producer and editor. And as you know, podcasts generate tons of data. And one of the hardest things is figuring out, why did this episode turn out? Well, what do good episodes and bad episodes relate to each other?
Yep.
And as it happens, the podcast data, when you look at it, downloaded in a CSV file, looks really, really similar to the data that I used in my master's degree. It's like, oh, I know how to analyze this. Multivariate stats, like in infinite dimensions of things that don't, like numbers that don't exist. So I went into Copilot and I go, here's my data. I want to run these multivariate statistical analyses on them.
Shit.
And it turned out, and I got the answers, but the big part of the answers are the charts, because that's where you can really see. And Copilot just couldn't make the charts. So I had to, it's like, could you please write the Python script for me to do this? And then I had to, I think I used VS Code or whatever and paste in the Python and do it. And it worked. And it was like, and when my boss asked me, it was kind of funny. She said, "So what did you learn?" It's like, well, it's confirmed a lot of the things we already thought. But the most important thing was I learned that it was possible to do this. She wasn't really impressed. She thought I was going to come with some mind-blowing thing. It's like, no, I was proving the possible. I was like, we can do cool stuff and not have to hire a developer to do it. It's like, we can just do this. So that was my introduction. I vibe coded my own little value proposition canvas tool. The strategizer folks have this value proposition canvas with the thing that you're selling and the people you want to sell it to and what are their pains and gains. And they used to have a great tool where you have virtual sticky notes you put on it. So I vibe coded one for myself because I could.
What tool
didn't take very long,
use?
and it worked. What tool? I did it mostly in Gemini in console mode. That worked out pretty well because it was pretty simple. And if I need to do anything really more oomphy, I do it in VS Code. I usually use Gemini or Git Copilot to help me out. I've written a few some scripts for Python scripts to like crawl a website, give me all of the URLs and all the metadata so that I can analyze them.
Yep.
That kind of stuff. Take this massive amount of data and do some, transform it in some way that is a real pain in the butt to do by yourself. So that's what I do. But here's the thing: my daughter vibe codes, and she's 10 and a half. So the first thing she wanted to build was a game that was this was the game. She wanted to build a game that walked back and forth in front of a yard in the rain. It could jump up and down, and it could go inside and outside of its house, and the house was furnished. And it took her about an hour to get the first version.
What the fuck?
And it was amazing. And then I learned later that you have to stop and reload it, save the code and reload it, because then the AI kind of loses the plot a bit.
Yeah.
And your code starts getting really bad and really wonky.
Yeah.
But the experience, the look on her face when I said, well, let's make a game. And she said, what? Like, here's your game.
Oh my God.
And she could show her, we could record it and we showed her friends and they were like, what? So yes. So I think vibe coding is fantastic. It really makes it easy to prototype something. Like, I have a really great idea. This is kind of what I want it to look like.
Yeah.
The developers kind of go, ugh. But then you go, yeah, but I don't have to tell you all the things that you're going to get wrong, trying to take my words and turn into a thing. Here's the thing that I want. Now you code it so it doesn't, open up security holes in the servers.
Yep.
Which is what would happen.
Amazing. Yeah. Holy shit. What do you do for yourself, Tris?
What do I do for myself?
What's the Tris journey? I just want to do this for me.
What do I do for this for me? It sounds really terrible. I mean, I love to cook. That's kind of my hobby. I love to cook. I love to read. I build a lot of Lego. I build the grown-up Lego sets, like Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine and things like that. The ones that take a while. But the thing that I really love doing is I love hooking around and playing with technology. So I'll be like, oh, I wonder if I can. ... And then about 5 hours later, my wife is going, are you coming to bed? It's 1 a.m. What are you doing? Where did you go? Are you still alive? Because I'll just go down this rabbit hole of thinking of the thing I spend a lot of time on. It's personal, but it's also work. I work with a company called EasySOP.ai. I'm their marketer in residence, essentially, and facilitator trainer for our people who were teaching how to use AI for marketing, most small businesses, things like that. And the thing I spend a lot of time on is like writing prompts. And you think people go like, what do you mean? Like, ask ChatGPT or Gemini to just do this thing. It's like, no. Like one of my prompts was over 26. One of the things to start writing the prompt, not the prompt, the instructions to start was 2,600 words. And then that got pasted in to then make the prompt.
Well, let me ask you about that. So,
okay,
how do you structure a prompt?
There's lots of different ways to do it depending on what you want to accomplish. The folks at trustinsights.ai have some amazing free frameworks to help you kind of get your mindset. So the prompt I like to use for general purpose stuff is race, and it is your role. Essentially, you're telling it, what am I supposed to do? Who are you? What action am I doing? What is the expected output? What are my constraints?
Sure.
And that you put things in that kind of framework for an AI, it really does pretty well. Then the one I like for, and I'm not going to remember this acronym at all, it's called Casino, and it's for deep research, and it's setting all of the things for deep research, like your context, your audience, what's the output that you want. It's kind of like where's the scope. I think the S is scope.
Yeah, amazing.
Because here's the trick, and I learned this from the folks at Trust Insights. The way to get better prompts is to have the AI write your prompt for you. You tell it what you want, and you add, here's the magic secret line that makes everything really great. Ask me one question at a time. Ask me one question at a time until you have enough information to complete the task at hand. And it doesn't matter what you're doing with AI. If that's the last thing you type before you hit return, you will get measurably better results.
Oh my God.
You've forgotten something. You always do, right? You're writing something in your head like that. And then the AI, whatever one will go, and it will go like, I read this. I have a question. And did you mean this? Do you want to expand it to that? What if this? And it asks one question at a time. And then at the end, it goes, okay, I think I got it all. Here's your prompt. And it's like, is this good? And you're like, yeah. Or, oh, wait, could you add this? Can you tweak that?
Man.
And it's really, it's shifting your mindset from having just essentially having the AI, just throw something at the AI, give me whatever comes out. You're really guiding it. You're training it. You're teaching it. You're moving it in the direction that you want.
Are you like an AI guy? Like, is that your thing now?
It is really.
Okay.
Yes. As I look down at my doc, and it's like, oh yeah, I suppose, because I have little buttons for Claude and ChatGPT and Gemini, and I have a local LLM I can run on my laptop. It's late enough. My MacBook can handle it enough that it doesn't like catch fire, but I can run pretty powerful models locally if there's something particularly private that I don't want any leaking onto the internet at all. I'll run it locally.
I created my own RAG.
See, this is my thing. I learn by having a challenge and solving it. So I'm filling in tons of gaps. So like, oh yeah, RAG, right. I need to learn more about I need to learn more about MCP servers and how I really use them, because some of my friends do some amazing stuff, and other folks are going, yeah, but that's
all right. So I guess my question to you is, what do you do for Tris? How do you keep your Tris sane?
How do I keep sane? I read, I cook, and build the Lego, and find a few mindless games that I can just play and just let my brain kind of go solitaire, whatever. Being ADHD, if I don't have something I can focus on, my brain will just wander. So I've been telecommuting. We used to call it telecommuting. I've been working from home since like 2000.
Sure.
And I kid you not, I would sit on these phone calls back to Ontario on my laptop, listening to people taking notes and playing solitaire. because if I didn't play solitaire, I would start reading and answering emails or doing anything, because an idea would pop into my head. It's like, oh, wait, I have to look at the, no, focus. So if solitaire was in front of me, I could do it and stay tuned in and take my notes and wouldn't go flying off on a tangent. And people would be like, Tris, are you still there? Oh, right. Sorry, I was writing this email that's something you talked about.
Oh. Huh.
So that's what I do. Yeah.
I just have to shut down a call that came in from BC.
Oh.
What?
I hope it wasn't a scam call. I mean, we get a lot of those.
Probably is.
Probably.
Here's what I've noticed, Tris, is that you care about what you do, and you show up and you do the thing. So I believe that, you know, if I asked you, like, what do you do, like, when you're not doing the day-to-day stuff? You're just actually doing the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's and I think it's an offshoot of how my life and career have progressed from being a literal research scientist. I mean, we're lab code and everything. Okay, I had the lab code and all the things.
Yeah.
To where I am now, it is being continually curious and continually just going, I wonder, and then just diving in, and then like, I love to teach people. I love to help. Actually, tomorrow, we're recording this on Friday. Saturday, I'm teaching a free class on how to use AI to learn better.
Oh my God!
Right, and it's got like 25 people are going to come, mix of grown-ups and kids and stuff. How do you use AI as a student and do it right? And like, I'm not going to say, and here's how you cheat on all of your, no. It's like, how do you really do it and do it right? So you learn more, better, and you have time to think more. That's because that is going to be key to kids today. The CEO of Google DeepMind was at a thing in Greece. He was in Athens. And he said, essentially the number one skill you will need in the 21st century is to continuously learn. Period. Full stop. You cannot just say, I'm done. You have to keep going, and you have to keep learning and keeping the saw sharp in whatever you choose to do. Yeah.
Tris, I'm stoked. So if you are listening to the show still, go check out Tris Hussey. Links will be in the show notes. Oh my God. Do that thing. Like, learn more.
Learn more.
Yeah, just grab it and own it, because this is what the next phase is. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're more than welcome anytime. And hey, if you need a prompt, hit me up. We'll write one together. Make you a thing.
Done deal. Right. Oh my God, my sir. Boom.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. Hey, if you're an artist, scientist, entrepreneur, or business owner who wants a smooth and proven method to find, shape, and share your story with the world, head on over to brandjitsu.com and order a copy of my book, Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable. I've been your host, Michael Dargie, and this has been the Rebel Podcast. It's a podcast for creative rebels and entrepreneurs all over the world. And hey, if you're a rebel or you know a rebel, head on over to therebelrebelpodcast.com and fill out the guest request form. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time.